Hi, I'd like to introduce my latest artwork to you. It's a piece inspired by a visit to Latravbjarg in Iceland. The day I was there, back in June, there were about 20 people all day and upwards of 1 million birds. And the puffins caught my attention, so puffins are everywhere. That ratio of bird to people, like 1 million to 20, seemed right to me. It seemed this is how life should really be. It's nice to have some people around, but not everywhere, and it's good for the auditory experience to have no motors, just bird call and wind and waves and the odd voice. It was wonderful. The style in which I presented this piece is in the style of if you're viewing like a very old fresco. Frescoes were first painted onto the walls of tombs in ancient Egypt in about 2600 BC. And when we view them these days, they've often deteriorated and bits have fallen away. So the viewer gets the chance to fill in the gaps. The bit that you can see there, and then what's in between? Well, that's up to you to imagine. And I wanted to give you the opportunity to just spend some attention on imagining what it was like at these wonderful bird cliffs. That actually makes me think back to a story told by the monk and poet Gary Schneider of going to an art exhibition and thinking, in a funny sort of Buddhist sense, one doesn't need art because whatever one puts attention to becomes very interesting. And so Gary went through ignoring the pictures and focusing on the bits in between. Which also makes me think of our Little Prince book, where this small boy, a little prince, cultivates a flower on a distant planet, and it's the only flower on the planet, and he thinks it's the most beautiful thing. But then the prince comes to Earth and finds a garden where there's 5,000 similar flowers, and he's distraught because he'd always believed his flower was special. But the prince's companion, the little fox, says, it's the time and attention you spent on your flower that makes it so special. That's a very valuable thing to understand about people, isn't it? That we should be very careful about where we pay our attentions. Well, thanks for looking.